A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, it's the day before the big day. As we speak, of course, Ghana and South Africa battling it out at the Women's African Cup of Nations third place match. Like I said, the day before the big day, the Super Falcons of Nigeria on a quest to win the 10th title. Mission X, they've called it. And of course, tomorrow will be the day. But of course, today we'll be talking about the third place. We'll also be talking about things happening here, a few appointments here and there, talking about the national teams, appointments made by the NFF. We will also take a look at basketball. Of course, we already know about the women's Afro-basket that is currently going on in Côte d'Ivoire. We'll also, it's all about the ladies, really. We'll also be talking about the women's Euros. Of course, the final is tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Spain and England, again. We'll see what happens in that one. Well, it's a two-man show. My colleague, Austin Okonakman, suited as right.
Spotty greetings to you, Yemi, and good to be with you on the show. I think I had a peep into your wardrobe, and that's to pick the same color of suit. You know, thank God it's Friday. What a story. Can the Super Falcons go on to win a record 10th Women's Africa Cup of Nations title? No, Mission X as its biggest test when they filed out against Morocco's Atlas Lionesses. And I look, Yemi, I went back to see what happened at WAFCON 2022. I was like, lightning shouldn't strike twice, because everything you can think about that could go wrong went wrong that day, July 18th, 2022. I'll never forget. Alimatu Ayinde was shown a red card. Nigeria fought, got back into it. Right after, Morocco clapped back. Rashida Ajibade was shown a red card. The fans were shouting. They were rooting for Morocco from start to finish. They were using lasers on Chiamaka Onadozie. Officiating was all over the place. It shouldn't happen again tomorrow. But I like what I see. I've been listening to Coach Justin Madugu at the pre-match conference, and they're pumped up and they're ready. Let's go.
All right, they're pumped up. They're ready. And let's see what happens with that one. All right, let's set the tone for tonight. Of course, currently going on is the third place, as I've said already. But let's give you some details. I'll go across in a minute. Let's give you some match details for the final, and also let you in on what the teams will be getting. Interesting times ahead. So, of course, you already know the final is between Morocco and Nigeria. But, of course, the details you need to know. Of course, the time, venue of the game, some of those details we will give to you. So I'll just go across now and let you in on some of those details. Well, final match is tomorrow, Saturday, July 25th. And, of course, it is the host, Morocco, against Nigeria, 9 p.m. Nigerian time. The venue is Stade Olympique de Rabat. We're hoping that this time out, it'll bring something good for the Super Falcons. Trust me, it's going to be a hostile crowd. Everybody in that stadium, maybe the remaining 5% will be for the Super Falcons, but trust me, the rest will be for the host. All right, let's quickly also talk about the prize money. Something I want to quickly get out of the way. Guaranteed prize money for the finalists. There you have it, guaranteed prize money. Of course, the winner is going to win $1 million US dollars. And of course, the runner-up will take half of that, 500,000 US dollars. All right, so that's just it for the prize money. All right, our colleague Cecilia Omorogbe is with us now, and of course we go straight to Morocco as she joins us now. Cecilia, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Okay, Cecilia, we cannot, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I can hear me. Yeah. Good evening.
All right, it's good to have you join us. Of course, you already know what the first question will be. What's the mood like in the camp of the Super Falcons? Any injuries to report? What is the message coming out of the fans, out of the camp? What are the girls telling you? What is the message they want to pass across to the fans?
Yeah, the message is still the same. The confidence is still there. The only injury worries they have is actually Francesca Odega, who is injured, so she will not be a part of the final. That's the only one we know. Every other players in camp, they've all been training so well, and of course, the mood is still the same in the sense that yes, that Mission X is what they're still gunning for. So all the players that trained in Rabat on Thursday and also this evening, they are all really ready to go. They will not be bothered by what the Moroccans will throw at them. Even the question was posed to Rashida Tichipade because she was part of the team that lost in 2022. Austin mentioned that earlier in that semi-final clash that was really, really a hostile environment. And so the questions was posed to them again, what should they be expecting? And of course, everything they said happens to be everything they said is the fact that they will be ready. Those, whatever the Moroccans will throw at them, they're ready to soak all in. Made reference to 2016 where the Cameroonians, filled the stadium with the president and security agencies. Everyone was at the stadium. It was as if there was a coup that was taking place when the president came into the stadium. That 2016 in Cameroon, they were facing a host nation, a hostile crowd. They were able to overcome that. The difference is that was in the evening after about 5 p.m. That was when the game started. 4 p.m., 5 p.m. is kind of game. But this time around, we're having a game that will start at 9 p.m. Moroccan time, and also that's Nigerian time. And the laser beam that they used the last time, and that's the worry here. Some journalists here were trying to go to Google or Amazon to see if they can even get that and throw it back at them. But they've not been able to get that. But the players says they're ready for whatever they're going to throw at them. Because it's not the first time Nigeria will be playing a host nation to win the title. And we all know that anytime the Super Falcons get to the final of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, they usually take the trophy. They've never lost in the final. So for them, this will not be the first time that will be happening. For the Moroccan side, we watched their training today. I went to the training camp. I mean, Austin, you need to see what they're actually doing with women's football. That the place to get the players at camp is more like a palace. Like, a structured infrastructure. I can use that word. I mean, it's well gated, well protected. Even as media personnel, they ask the camp to drop us at the gate. You have to walk all through to get to where they were going to train. And of course, where they're training is also where they are camped. That's the difference. You have that, like they built a kind of a football house where they train, and that's where they also camp. So everything is there. You have the medical facilities, the gym, swimming pool, anything you can think of is actually inside that complex. That's where they're training. So it's a far cry from what's obtainable elsewhere in Africa. So I think with what they provided, with the comfort they have, they also have that confidence. I mean, the coach said at the press conference already that they're not inferior to the Super Falcons in terms of play. That these are the players that he has meticulously trained and the hunger they have. And for them, he said this is the time that they actually want to see if they can win the Women's Nations Cup for the first time, their second final, and they're actually aiming for that title.
All right, let's bring in Chief Football Writer, ACLSports.com, Fisayo Dairo, joins us from Port Harcourt. Greetings, Fisayo. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Very good evening to Yemi, and good evening, Austin and Cecilia. So nice to join you guys on the show this evening.
All right, let me just throw one at you before I yield back to Austin. Which one should we... I shouldn't be using the word we. I mean, I'm supposed not to be biased, but which one should the Falcons fear more? The hostile North African crowd or their opponents on the field? Which one poses a bigger threat?
Well, unfortunately, you can't detach the two from one another. But I think they should fear the crowd more. Because I just put up an article on ACL Sports this evening about 4 things that the Falcons are playing against tomorrow, which are not non-footballing things. And number 1 there for me was the fans. over 20,000 fans will be in the stadium tomorrow. We played all our game in Casablanca at the La Bizaudi Stadium, where we barely had an average of 7,000 fans per game. So now we'll have like 20,000 chanting, shouting in favor of the host team, and also, like Cecilia mentioned, lasers brimming, and yes, the fans more, but when you talk about the players on the pitch, I think Falcons have more than enough head-to-head to deal with the Moroccans. But you cannot detach what those girls will do on the pitch from what their fans will be chanting at them.
Fisaya, is going to be a really, really big one for the Super Falcons. Mission X. I've said this is the biggest test, and that they remember what happened at the last edition in 2022. Do you think the Super Falcons will be under pressure?
Everybody playing the final will always be under pressure. That's the fact. We can say that the Moroccans will be under a greater pressure because they lost the last final on home soil, and now they've gotten to another final. So they are under a greater pressure, and they are facing a Nigerian side that they could not beat in 120 minutes with 9 women. So I think they are under a greater pressure, but the players, the Mission X has been a mantra, has been a song across all social media platforms and stuff. So that gives them some sort of pressure as well. And of course, they are footballers. Everybody has that pressure going to the fight. But I think Morocco will be under greater pressure than us. I just hope that our girls will be able to capitalize on those moments, because there is no way in 90 minutes there will be moments in that game where that pressure will get to the Moroccans the more. I hope our players are able to capitalize in those isolated moments, and then we can get the victory.
Well, Cecilia, tell me, do you agree with Fisayo? The Super Falcons, are they under pressure? And the Atlas Lionesses, are they under more pressure?
Yeah, I completely agree with him. I mean, Fisayo nailed it, because when Morocco went as far as hiring a World Cup coach. You know how that won the World Cup with Spain in 2023. For you to bring that coach for you, it tells you about something. They had a 5-year plan. Their 5-year plan was at the end of that 5 year, they will be able to win the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. In 2022, they couldn't do that. And then 3 years on, they're also going for that. And they're also hosting the next one. So these are the things they put in place. And they work towards it judiciously. As I mentioned earlier, Austin, when you go to their facilities where they're training, it's a big complex. It's somewhere you go to, you're like, is this really in Africa? It's something that European countries be proud about. I know Irene would have said that, because Irene was in Morocco when they were, bidding for the Africa Women's Cup of Nations. Irene, woman, I'm talking about our producer. So when you see these facilities, when he was talking about it, I believed him. I haven't seen it. I just assume, okay, it's just there. But when you walk into the facilities, I mean, your mind is at rest. There's just this serene environment, this peace that you feel. So they've already given them so much. Now, what do they expect from them? Just win. They don't need to worry about anything. No side distraction, nothing. No media talking bad about them. All the media people I've met here, they've called me saying, Nigeria, you already have 9. Come on, just give us 1. That's what Moroccan journalists are saying. Just give us this one. I mean, just don't blame us. Don't come there and beat us and shame us, because we know you guys are parents. That's what they're hoping for. So the pressure is actually on the players to deliver what the fans are yearning for. For every game, I mentioned it earlier, for every game they play, the only place they watch football in Morocco happens to be the Olympic Stadium in Rabat. Every other place. Third place match at Labis Zule Stadium, I could count the numbers of fans on the other side. You usually have the VIP, the media session, and also the few sides. That's the only part you feel opposite the media, and of course where some other fans are. It's actually empty. You have 1 or 2, maybe like up to maybe 100 or 200 fans actually on the other side of the stadium. So it tells you that yes, they're going to come out. I mean, in numbers, we can't even get tickets. That's how bad it is now. People, we met guys, close to our hotel, and they were asking. We told them that they need to come support Super Falcons. I mean, they are Nigerians. They came for holiday. Like, you guys are there on vacation. They said, okay, they will try. Only for them to tell us that they can't even get tickets to buy. That is not opening.
I know.
What does that tell you? So it tells you that maybe They bought all the tickets.
That stadium will be packed.
That stadium will be packed. Even the journalists who usually go to the fan side to support the Falcons, because we don't have the supporters club right here in Morocco. So they usually go there to join the few fans that are there, to start singing. Tracy usually lead or followed by Onyechis. They all try to lead the pack, to have that song rolling, to go to that fan side on that day, because everywhere is tight, really, especially in terms of tickets. So the Moroccans are more under pressure than the Super Falcons. 9 times
Yeah,
champions. Yes,
I agree.
but at the end of the
Cecilia, I completely agree with you on Fisayo, because the amount of attention they've given to women's football, the investment, and then they've got Oge, who's a World Cup winning, who comes with so much experience. So Morocco will be expecting. Cecilia, do me a favor. If you see NFF officials, see what Morocco is doing for women's football. Show them those structures. Let them see. And let them see and look that this women's football, look at the attention that they are giving to it. Isn't it even a shame that the Super Falcons are playing Yemi a big final? We don't even have supporters club on ground. It's all Super Eagles.
It's a shame, really. It is. But kudos to Nigerians who, from that area, who found a way to fill the void. My worry, looking at some of the things Cecilia said, we're going to see some antics tomorrow. There'll be a lot of things. I mean, we're used to North Africans. And just like Cecilia said again, look, they want this so bad, and I know they'll probably go to any length to get it. And I hope whatever we're sorting out, at home, we should sort it out and ensure that our girls, supporters should be on ground. Whatever we're doing with organization, we should get it right as well. Let's just pause a little and listen to the coach of the team. Justin Madugu is assuring us that the Super Falcons will triumph.
The omen of not losing any final continues tomorrow also. However, we know all the scenarios are always different. The scenarios have never been the same. It's a new scenario, and we are playing against a top team. We quite know what they can also do. We also are aware of the caliber of coach that they also have that has gotten them to where they are today. But like I said, we believe in ourselves, we believe in our players, we trust what we are doing, and we'll stick to our game plan to ensure that we emerge victorious tomorrow. When you play in a cup final, there are always pressures because it comes with the extra desire that you really want to make it. You have worked so hard to get to where you are, and then you just make some extra effort to actualize, the dream of carrying the trophy. Yes, we are preparing very well in all aspects, mentally, psychologically, whatever it is that we are anticipating, we are taking care of it, and we know it's not just going to be just playing football and we go. We must prepare for every scenario that can occur on the field of play. We're fully aware of that, and experience has taught us so many things, and we're fully prepared for that too. Penalties are also part of the game, and every competition has rules, and we are also aware that the game could possibly go to that. So if we are aware that there will likely be penalties, we definitely must prepare for it, which we have also been doing, because anything can happen, and then if it comes to penalties, we're fully ready for it. Francisca Odega was out of training yesterday because she had a knock, and the medical team are also working on her to see how fast she can recover. Where she might not be able to make it, we'll have to take it. It's a sad development for us. We just pray she makes it. If she doesn't, the other members of the team will carry on, even in support of her. It will also go a long way in helping to motivate the team. But we'll just pray that she makes it.
All right, so we're going to break right about now. When we return from that break, there's still so much to talk about with regards to the Women's African Cup of Nations. We'll go for that break. We'll return for more. All right, welcome back. We still have Visayo Dairo with us. Of course, Cecilia Morogwe all the way from Morocco as well. Visayo, let me get you talking. So, one question, really. A lot of people have credited the coach for bringing changes when it needed and making quality substitutions on one hand. So do you agree with them? Then the B part of the question will be, he has made changes that has worked according to a few people. Does he need to change anything for the final?
Yeah, I think he needs to look at the field. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Oh, are you asking me, myself, or Visayo?
I was actually talking to Visayo, but I'm very sure I'll pass the baton to Cecilia again. But Visayo, I want to get your thoughts on that. Do you agree that the coach deserves credit for making changes, his quality substitutions, and then do you think we need those changes again in the final?
Yeah, I agree that the coach deserves every plaudit he is given, because this is a coach that a lot of people did not give the chance, especially when we didn't score goals in the group stage. But so whatever he has done to change things, he deserves full credit for everything. And then the second part, he doesn't need to change anything. The same starting 11 that started the game against South Africa was the one that started the game against Zambia. And I was discussing with a couple of colleagues earlier this night that if we did not concede that penalty, which was against the run of play, we would have beaten South Africa by 2 unreplied goals or 3. So that lineup, if we check many of these major competitions, major tournaments is not where you ring changes anyhow. You make holistic changes only once to balance it. And once you have gotten that set up, you go with it. Let the Moroccans study whatever they're going to study. Even they will not make a lot of changes after the semi-final game. So nothing else to change. And then, yes, he deserves all his credits. I'm always a fan of our local coaches managing the Super Falcons, especially, even all our national teams, because they know our strengths, they know our weaknesses, they will administer justice on these players on the pitch without thinking of where you are playing. Look at the game against South Africa. Immediately, South Africa scored. Immediately, we scored a winning goal in stoppage time. This coach brought in a National Amazons player to lock up shop. A foreign coach would say, oh, I have a player from Bay FC, I have a player from Brighton, I have a player from La Liga. That's what most of these coaches look, especially the expatriates, because they look at your technicality and the bets. The Nigerian coach, just go there, clear the ball, lock the shop, and you get the job done. So you give the coaches credit, and then again, nothing left to change ahead of the final.
All right, Cecilia was very eager to answer, so you get your chance to bite the apple now.
Yeah, I love what Visayo said about lock shop. I mean, you don't need so much, especially those who feel, oh, we're ready to 1 or we can get a third goal. Actually, you don't need that. What usually helps in situations like that is, I love the fact that for the first time we have a coach who could play every player he brought on. Apart from the outfield player, but every player at this that he brought to this tournament, they've all played. The only person that hasn't played was Chioma Okafor. I explained in the last time that because of an injury that she sustained, and because we had to ask him before the South Africa game, and he says, okay, fine, if there is need for her, she will come in. But he already has a team, so she has not really blended with the team. You already had a team that has blended. I think there is a goal. Shout at the stadium is massive. We need to check who has scored a goal. I'm sure maybe Ghana or South Africa, but I think there is a goal that just came on because of the shots coming from the stadium. But that aside, I think what he has done is something we should be proud of. I think the only thing he may want to do, maybe in the midfield, but I think you really can't change that because he has been able to solidify that too. We'll see what Esther Okoronkwo and Jennifer Echegine can do from the flanks. We'll see what Rasheedat Ajibade running freely when she's given that role. We'll also see Alimatu Ayinde. She's someone that we don't even give her our flowers, don't even appreciate that player. What she's done for the team, it's something you really can't get elsewhere. So who will he want to change? Maybe against Morocco, just for the fear factor. He may want to bring in Asisa Toshola, maybe for Inwen's way or something. But I think what he did against Zambia, that first 11 worked for him, and that's why he repeated that against South Africa. And we also saw the way it actually worked well, outside the little mistake coming from Osinachi Orale. But overall, I think this is a that we can actually be proud of, for him to be able to have that tenacity, you know, that no, how do I put it that, whether you're a big time player or not, you can sit on the bench and watch from the bench. I don't care how big you are. When you're in the team, we're all the same. And that harmony has been able to bring into the team. There's so much harmony, there's so much love. We've seen those who are not even playing, when the players scored, the way they run into the pitch, you know, to celebrate the players. It shows this particular player, it showed that harmony that girls had. So I don't think you really need to change anything at all.
All right. Cecilia, the noise you heard, it's just that a goal has been scored and it's one goal apiece. So I want to yield to Austin now to react to that. Ghana conceded a funny goal, very funny goal, was a gift. But now seems they are back on level terms.
They are, you know, Kusi brought them back into it, and I was speaking to Cecilia when we got on the break. And they want to win this one. Shots on target, they have better figure than South Africa, you know. So with this goal now, they're getting it in a very good time. They might just decide to push all the way. South Africa also, we know they can actually hurt you. 80th minute, 90th minute. And they have said that they want to win this one for Gabi, you know. So we'll see. Final minutes of this game will definitely get us talking. But let's go back to the Super Falcons and Coach Madugu. I love the update he gave the first time we listened to him. This time he's saying, look, we respect teams, but we are definitely going to go out there and get the business done. Coach Madugu.
Judge anybody as a weak team or a strong team. They all deserve our respect, having qualified to come for this tournament. And it's about judgment. And, this team is stronger than the other. It's about judgment, but I think they all deserve respect, having qualified to come for the tournament. And we all know everybody cannot win, certainly. No matter how competitive the teams can even be, somebody must win and another must lose for the competition to make progress. By any means, they will be separated. So that some of them are not playing in the final does not make them bad sides, but they have also done well to have gotten here. So we do not look at it from the angle that they are coming from a weaker group and then we are coming from a much tougher group. We don't look at things from that perspective. As far as we know, they are a good side. We're fully ready for them. They deserve to be where they are, and we're getting set to make sure that we take on anybody that comes our way as an opponent. To our fans, we cannot thank them enough. To be very candid, we cannot thank them enough. They have been supportive. Voices have been heard. Messages have been sent. You know, different platforms. You know, in support of the team. Prayers have been said everywhere. So we quite appreciate all that our countrymen and women are doing to ensure that they make things easy for us, or they show us their total support, so that we'll try as much as possible to make sure that we make them happy by winning the trophy tomorrow.
Falcons coach Justin Madugu. I love it when coaches, you know, put out respect, you know, for their opponents. That's a sort of motivation for themselves. Let's quickly get to listen to Coach Oge Vilda, and then get Cecilia and Fisayo to wrap this up for us on the show tonight.
Between a medium to high level, they've got strong players, physically speaking, and they are really very outstanding in terms of their individual qualities. The players play in big leagues, and as a team they won the trophy many times. So this this Nigerian team in this competition improved a lot, and every game is getting even better. Played some really very difficult teams as well. But as I told you, it is going to be a final game, and we are going to face them without any inferiority or complex. Our players are committed, highly motivated, so that they can get into history and to win this. We have tried to put all the means to recover, and also the efforts made by the physical trainers and the assistant staff. So tomorrow will be our 6th game, and this was our objective right from the outset of this tournament. We wanted to play 6 games, and as you know, the final is not going to be played without any accumulation of tiredness on the part of the players.
That's it. Head coach of Morocco's women's national team, who gave you that, talking about that crucial between Nigeria and Morocco. Fisayo, you've listened to both coaches. From your assessment, what sort of final game are we going to have?
Yeah, I think we're going to have an explosive final. There's no hiding space for both sides, and of course, destiny is right there. One team is hoping to win it for the first time. One is hoping to make it double figures. So I expect both players to race out of the starting blocks very quickly. So I expect a final that will be filled with goals, at least 2 goals, even in 90 minutes for me. And I will hope and pray that Nigeria Super Falcons are the better side, because we have the physicality on our side. And I think that that was how Zambia were able to give them problems in the opening match. They faced the physical side in the opening game. They only managed to equalize at the end. And now they are going to face another physical side in the final. And I think we have enough power to deal with it.
I know. Cecilia, you're on ground. Wrap this up for us. What should we be expecting? What mood have you seen? Give us some energy.
A clinical finish, really. I mean, they started strongly, 3-0, right? And of course, they expected to finish strong, 2-0 against Morocco. But no matter what is going on, I mean, the energy from the players alone is what I can feed off. When you see them smile, when you see what they do together, when they're training and when they're doing everything, it shows that energy is something that they're going to feed off each other. Because we found a team, a crop of players that are so together that nothing can actually shake them, no matter what everyone is saying. Remember when Zambia said they're going to hunt them down? Rashida mentioned that, yes, we heard them, we've listened to them. Taking Assad said, yes, we've heard them, we listened to them. But then that's what they've been doing every talking on the field of play. They talk less, but that confidence that oozes from them, it's something you always see, and you just want to smile and know that, yes, these girls, they know what they're doing. They understand the mission. They know this is not just a mission X. They call to duty, and they've been doing all that all through the tournament. 11 goals scored, conceding 1. Austin tells you a lot. Moroccan 11, but then they've conceded 6.
So that means there are hopes that the Super Falcons can get quite a number of goals past them. I'll keep both of you. You wrap this up for us in like 1 or 2 minutes. But that's after we listen to Shehu Diko, who had some sharing news for the Super Falcons this morning. Listen to Shehu Diko.
That is not the case at this moment. Since the coming of the National Sports Commission, the idea is to be more professional and to bring people that understand the game. So we've been working to make sure that these things don't happen. The last time the Super Eagles, we deal with all the allowance in the last matches without any issues. And this one too as well. As I tell you, as of today, the entire allowances and bonuses for the matches that they have already won, and even the one they're going to play tomorrow, have already been approved by the president and has been paid. Has been released the Nigerian Football Federation, and with a clear instruction that they should try everything possible to make sure the girls receive their money. Let us close the business today. Except if the girls say they don't bother about that, they can take it after the games. But at least they know that the money is in the account. It's at the CBN account of the National Football Federation, of the Nigeria Football Federation. So it's just disbursement. And the Federation have already sent whatever it is needed for the CBN to start disbursing. But the issue now is with the girls. Some want to collect dollars because they are living abroad. Some want to collect naira. So those with naira is easy to get it immediately. Those with dollars, there has to be a conversion with the CBN to get it done. But at least the girls are sure that is done. And from the beginning, we promised them that this is going to happen. So they never bothered. This is the first time in a very long time they are in this kind of tournament, and there is nobody talking about money, talking about this. Remember the bad experiences we had before when they won the trophy and they came back. They have to lock themselves in the hotel to get the money and some other time. But people need to understand it. These monies are never delayed deliberately, even in those days. It's because of the processes of government and releasing the money and stuff like that. So what we did this time around, because we know the problem, we know the issues, is to make sure that we put this money under the appropriations. So this money is for the girls, for some other matches are already appropriated. They're already in the budget. So the first thing is to see how the money can be released. And we put a notice to the Minister of Finance as far back as March to give a notice that this tournament is coming, so we need to get this ready. So everything was being done ahead because that is the way to go about it. You don't have to wait until after the tournament and you start writing to the president, asking for intervention, funding and stuff like that before the money is paid.
So that's Chairman National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko. Fisaya, wrap this up for us in 1 minute, so we'll let you go. What sort of news was that to you? Finally, we get to hear that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the bonuses, wages, and allowances of the Super Falcons.
Yeah, great news, because nothing motivates players than getting paid for what they've done on the pitch, So coming a day before the final, I think they can't be better motivated than this. And I do hope that they translate that on the field of play, because what's awaits them even after the final is much more than these bonuses alone. Their share of the prize money of that $1 million, if we get it tomorrow. So a lot of them will really be smiling, not only to the bank, but to their families at the end of the competition.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Fisaya Dairo, for your time on the show tonight. And best wishes. Hopefully the next time we'll be saying congratulations. Thank you. Cecilia, when the girls heard that their money has finally been approved, what did you hear? Did they dance? Did they sing? Is that a big motivation for them now to the final?
Actually, they were not even bothered. Like, they were not bothered because they didn't care anymore. They just want to play football. There was something Rashida said actually, touched me. When we talked about what it will mean for her to actually win a 10th title. She said she hopes that this 10th one will be a catalyst that will change the way we view women's football, not only in Nigeria, but also in Africa. More attention. They were not even thinking about it at all. That's something I was saying, that these girls, they are here on a mission. They are here on a duty. Whatever is going.
Okay, Cecilia, I think we're having issues with your network. Hopefully you come back and then we'll wrap it up with you. But Yemi, I liked the news, but then again, I wanted to tell Shehu Diko and his team, let's be careful. We really need to stop using sports as PR.
Yeah, we do need to do that. The elephant in the room has been addressed, so I think we can let everything lie, let the dogs lie the way it is for now. If we're not going back to Cecilia, maybe we'll just use the few seconds we have. Okay, let's see if she's with us. Okay. All right. So let's just use the remaining minutes we have to talk basketball. Let's quickly talk about, it's the ladies all the way. So let's talk about the D Tigress in Group C. Tomorrow, Saturday, Senegal and Guinea, West African neighbors, slug it out. In Group D, Nigeria and Rwanda, and of course, host Cote d'Ivoire in Group A will be up against Egypt. This is wishing the D Tigress all the best as they continue. They begin actually the quest to win the title for the 5th consecutive time. Then, of course, also on Saturday, Mali and South Sudan will take to the courts as they battle it out. That's all for basketball. Austin, let's make our party short tonight on the show. Let's make it about the Euros. Tomorrow is going to be the final. England and Spain again. England and Spain again. The English, they've been talking about it. That is coming home. I don't know if it's going to come home this time, but we must agree that the Lionesses, even when they go down, they refuse to stay down.
That's right, and that's the energy that the country is taking into the final to support the Lionesses. And if they win, remember, they will become the first English side to go out of the country to win a major tournament. The Lionesses, give it up to them. What Coach Serena Wigman has done with this team, the fight that they have in them, the hunger, the tenacity. I love what Michelle Agman is doing with this team. She's so young, but she's playing football like a veteran. And they're going to face Spain. Look, when they won it against Germany at Wembley, it was magical. It was incredible. It was a late goal that did it for them. And they have shown at this competition that until it is over, it is not over. They are fighting. They are going all the way. So against Spain, that is pretty decent, that plays admirable women's football, you cannot take it away. I think momentum is on England. They are defending champions. They are playing the sort of football that's getting all of us talking. As Serena Wigman has said, look, we're going to take that same energy, that same spirit into the final and play it like they've always been playing at this competition. And if they go with that energy, then we might be coming back to say congratulations to the Lionesses for making history by winning the Euros back-to-back and becoming the first team to win a major competition for England outside the country. I think that's a good place to leave it. Quick check on what's going on. Third place game at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. It's now going to the 87th minute, and it's still Ghana 1, South Africa 1. They actually gave that goal as an own goal scored by goalkeeper Andile Dlamini of South Africa, but Ghana won't care. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakman. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, it's a wrap here in Lagos as well. Before we go, we'll allow you to listen to the words of the Super Falcons coach, Justin Madugu, saying there should be a structure for women's football in Africa. So in Nigeria, he says there should be a structure for women's football in Nigeria. That's the show tonight. We want you to enjoy your weekend. You'll see us again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
Are aware that there is tremendous improvement and development as far as women's football is concerned in Africa. There's a lot of improvement. If you look at some of the results, even in the qualifying stages, the results really showed that there are no longer minnows when it comes to African football as far as the women's football is concerned, because some teams they were hitherto regarded as some of the best teams in Africa are not here in this tournament, and they were defeated by teams that were supposedly considered to be like minnows. Even in this tournament, the results of some matches and the performance in some of the matches we have seen and we have witnessed really shows that there's no gap between any top team and any lesser team now. You must earn your results. You must work for it on the field of play to earn whatever result that you desire. There have been very surprising results in the course of the tournament that people never expected, and but that has happened. It shows the progress that has been made as far as women's football is concerned in Africa. And I trust and believe that if given more attention compared to what the men also enjoy, I know the sky will be the limit for African teams. And the improvement in the standard is not only reflected in the WAFCON alone. Even in the last World Cup and the last Olympics, yes, we may not have won anything, but the performance was something that was also commendable by all the teams that represented Africa. Desiree Ellis has been with the South African team from 2014. She has been there for close to 11 years with the team. She has played, this is her 5th WAFCON as a coach with the South African team. And she has gone to the World Cup twice. She has gone to the Olympics with the same team. they normally have a lot of developmental programs around there. They play a lot of tournaments, which gives them the opportunity of testing as many players as possible in their region. To the glory of God, we just took over this job last year, less than a year today, less than 1 year, and we had to prepare this team for WAFCON. So we tried to do as much as possible using the knowledge that we know of the players to try and see how we can put them together, knowing their strengths, knowing their weaknesses, to see how we can make the best of it. Because nobody will want to hear excuses. Nobody will make the best of the opportunity that you have and see how far it takes you. Going forward, certainly if we are given the opportunity to continue with this job, we know a lot of things that we can do to make the Super Falcons far better than what it is today. We can be looking at a standing home-based team like we have for the male team. These are things that we can also look at so that we try as much as possible to build the foundation of the team more from home rather than just having players coming in from outside. Yes, they are Nigerians. They deserve to be there. But you need to have a proper structure, a proper developmental structure that will help to expose more players, improve the standard using the local league.